Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of podcast. I wish and I'm sure you will enjoy listening to the Brewers.
What is this dual role of the pancreas?
Yeah, pancreas is the most important organ which is placed near your stomach. You can go and see that anatomy part of it, part of pancreas. There are enough of videos on the YouTube. So pancreas will have a head, will have a body, will have a tail. So pancreas produces some amount of hormones for your digestion, and then later on, we will not go into too much of this science. Later on, it has the capacity to regulate our glucose metabolism in different manners. So one is the head is called the polypeptide cells or the gamma cells, and then you have the alpha cells. Then you have a larger area in the body of beta cells. Then the tail has delta cells. The head of the pancreas, which is the polypeptide cell, produces a hormone which is of 36 different types of amino acids, which regulates the alpha, beta and delta cells to do its function. So the alpha cells produces glucagon, the beta cell produces insulin and amylin, the delta cells produces somatostatin. Somatostatin, the tail is too small, so nature could not create too much of delta cells there because there is no space there. So in the stomach region also you find enough of delta cells which can produce somatostatin. This is how the whole function takes place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the role the pancreas specifically play in diabetes?
When the alpha cells, there is the head of the pancreas, which is the polypeptide cell, the polypeptide hormone, which is very important. That is what we in modern science tested as a C-peptide. One test is there. It costs around $4,000-5,000 to see enough of peptide hormone is getting produced, which regulates the alpha, beta and delta cells. So alpha cells produces glucagon, which is an hormone which comes into the blood, and when we are not eating for long hours, they release the glycogen. Glycogen is again a linear chain of glucose. The excess glucose which we don't need is converted to glycogen, stored a massive amount in the liver and the skeletal part of the body, in our muscular tissues. So they go and break because human cells can accept single molecules only. This is a linear chain of glucose 1-4 glycosidic bonding, which we explained it in the glucose metabolism video. They break them into single glucose. As not only that, glucose that means glucose phosphate group already made, broken and thrown in the blood. Because blood has to maintain, the minimum glucose level.
Right.
You have hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia.
Right.
So you cannot go to hypoglycemia because cells need, so you need to pump in, mainly you need your heart and brain to go. So this is the function of the alpha cells, glucagon. The beta cells produces what is insulin and amylin. Insulin is the main stuff which comes and, the potassium metabolism come into play. That's a very big subject. We will not have time to explain too deep into it. Insulin is the one which transport glucose as GLUT4 system. Glucose transport system 4 to your entire skeletal body and the heart. Insulin is needed to transport the glucose into the human cells. Somatostatin is produced by delta cells, which keeps, monitoring the sugar levels in the blood. It keeps reducing to normal level. This is what is the overall function of what exactly happens in a glucose metabolism, how glucose is handled. If there is no pancreas, that's why when you get pancreatic cancer, you die very fast. Because your entire energy source of the body through glucose for the cellular function gets completely smashed. Your digestive system is also smashed. You can't do anything about it. If there's a problem with your gallbladder, they removed.
Right.
Appendicitis, they removed. In very bad accident of damage of spleen, they removed. But you cannot remove the pancreas. Yeah. Pancreas is removed, you die.
Because that would shoot up the blood glucose level.
Over, no system will function. There is no shoot up of glucose or here and all that. It's all over.
It's over.
Where is the glucose? You can only go see the glucose level in another human being who's living. This man is gone. There is no more you can look into anything. Everything jams.
Okay.
It's all over.
So, what is pancreatitis then, and its relation to diabetes?
See, we have a lot of interbuilt system inside. See, one of it is the chemically modified starch and the resistant starch, which we will do on video in future, which called the short chain fatty acids in the colon. When they come out, they don't. There are certain antibodies are produced to kill them. They wrongly identify beta cells and kill them. There are many systems where antibodies are produced to kill certain things in the body. What is an immune system? Antibodies are produced, then they will go and eat those viruses and unwanted things. So they go and attack the beta cells because beta cells resemble many things. I wrongly identify you for somebody else. You follow?
Yeah.
When I see somebody like you in a distance and she looks exactly like Vishaka, so I call her, hey Vishaka, I call her. Then she comes and says, no, I'm not Vishaka. Like that, you wrong. These antibodies, in number of cases, they wrongly identify beta cells and they go and kill the beta cells. So the volume of beta cells gets reduced. So they cannot produce enough of. There is no enough of beta cells. Then there is no enough of production of insulin to transport, because the internal organs, the RBC, the brain, and all that, they don't depend on insulin for transport. It's all protein transport for the glucose. Okay. But whereas the skeletal body is so huge, the number of cells are so high, we need insulin to transport glucose. Otherwise, there's so much of muscular function and all that when you walk, when you do so many actions and all that. The cells need a lot of glucose to, for the drive, for the RNA and the DNA to drive, and there are many cellular functions are going on. Yeah. So this is what is pancreas. Pancreas plays a major role in your diabetes. There is no doubt about it. That is why they go and boost the beta cells to produce more insulin, or slow down the alpha cells to produce lesser glucagon to somehow try and keep your glucose level under control, so that the acidic part of the blood will not be there. So the internal organ functions will be restored to normalcy. Yeah.
So coming to ancient Tamil science remedies for one, pancreatic function, and also for diabetes. So what is it that we have?
Pancreas is one unique organ, very unique organ, because of the reason that pancreatic cells are basically chromium power, the rare metal called chromium. A spleen is always a zinc power. A liver is always the gold power.
Okay.
The lung is the sulfur power. The pancreas is chromium power. So, chromium rich food, you can go and search for it, and you can have them. We have certain plant kingdom which are rich in chromium, which are identified to make medicines, because chromium as a metal which cannot be processed into medicine.
Okay.
It's very expensive also. Okay. The supportive system is to this chromium power. The supportive system in any organ, the supportive system is the purity of your blood, right? Because he is the guy who can go and give you everything. Blood is the guy who can come and give you glucose, can the nutrient, mainly the oxygen. Correct?
Yeah.
The blood can be cleansed with lead, but very difficult to make medicines with lead. There are no people. If you wrongly make it, then it will finish off. So chromium power. We have fantastic medicines to to enrich your pancreas with food and nutrition, with little bit of medicines.
Okay.
I'm not going too much of detail into it.
But I think we can look for ourselves on which foods are chromium rich, and consuming those will definitely help in increasing the function of the pancreas.
Anything, see, the basically the exercising. It is not the exercising that you go and do an exercise in a gym, or go and do exercise in a pool or whatever. Those exercising means not that you devote some separate time for your exercising. If you can do it, it's good. Playing 1 hour of shuttle in the morning, it's a fantastic exercise, right?
Yeah.
And doing a lot of household work is a fantastic exercise, right? So we need some amount of movements to your body to the overall function. The dopamine creation of the human brain is basically can happen only because the DHA of that component hormone produced in the brain is based on dopamine, and dopamine production by the brain cells, which is very important for the brain functions, because the millions of data are transferred every second. Okay, if you want to make a computer which can work the amount of data transfer by the brain, it will be the size of some 50 to 60 acres of land. Such big computer can be made, which will be equivalent to a brain which is 1.5 to 2 kilos in size. You can imagine.
Yeah.
So you need good exercise, because 75% of the glucose is consumed by the brain, what you intake. So we need exercise for the body. If you are going to sit in a computer and work for 18 hours, 16 hours, and then balance, you eat a little bit and go to sleep, then you have no body movements at all.
True.
And whatever chromium-rich food or chromium-based medicine, whatever I give you, I cannot revive you at all. It is not possible. Medicines cannot do anything to you. Medicines can help you a little.
Right.
If you are carrying 2 suitcases and walking into a tarmac to reach a flight, I can help you by carrying one of yours, right? But you can only walk and get into the flight.
No, you can't carry the person.
I cannot carry you. Yeah. I wish I make a point.
Yeah.
It's simple. Medicines are not something which has to be consumed at all. Medicines are needed when you are ill. The illness comes in why? You are supposed to protect yourself from illness. That is what is physical responsibility.
Right.
A good disciplined life with timely food, good nutrient food, fresh cooked food, good water, good atmosphere, staying away from pollution, good exercising, good movements to your body and everything, upright mental system, mental health. If you are going to be too much of emotional turbulences, avoid them. Keep, the mental health is directly related to your physical health. There are innumerable number of stuff which contributes to many things. So onset of any disease in a human body is over a span of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Because you have so many number of mechanisms which are trying to fight to keep the normalcy when all the system fails. Because of your, nonsense way of cultivating your life. Without realizing what is that you are, what is that you are supposed to be. Then the disease is what the medicine can do after that.
True.
Medicines are not God-given, which will just make you all right within a week's time. If you are going to be with a junk of a brain, with too much of emotional turbulences, stress, and giving too much of importance for socio-economic part of life, trying to compare yourself with big people and running you down, and going for a huge amount of daydreaming, or that I want to be like this, I want to be like that, and you're not able to fight to reach. Every brain has a capacity, every individual has a capacity, right? Somebody can run a 100-kilometer Usain Bolt in 9.9 seconds, which you can do it. In your lifetime you can't do it. So you know your capacity. So you are supposed to live a good, peaceful life. without emotional turbulences, to keep your mental health all right, to make sure that your physical system is absolutely good. Unless the mental health is good, the whole physical system will work in harmony. That harmony is in your hand. It is not in the hand of the medicine.
Thank you very much for spending your quality time. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you enjoyed this session. See you later.